Well, last year, 2022, as I mentioned, we hired 350 people globally. We opened offices in Dublin and Toronto. As we mentioned earlier, we're expanding our office here and moving offices to more office space. What I think will be next is certainly something Ripple thinks about. We started with enterprise-based cross-border payments. We talk about there being four kind of primitive pieces to blockchain-based technologies: liquidity, compliance, liquidity, compliance, custody, and tokenization. And Ripple really aspires to be more than just that kind of liquidity and cross-border payments. I think you'd expect that we will expand into some of those other areas, either organically or through acquisition. And I think we'll look at, let's make acquisitions in markets that are friendly to these technologies. On the previous panel, you had representation from the UAE, you had representation from Switzerland. These are countries that are providing the clarity for entrepreneurs to invest, and that allows a company like Ripple that is larger. We have more than $1 billion of US dollars in cash on our balance sheet. We want to deploy that to grow both organically, internally, but also inorganically through acquisition.
Good mid-afternoon. I'll continue at the beginning of the lives, continuing to play through that. I like to give you all a little bit of it. I think it's a very important meeting in Dubai that he had not too long ago, but it's a very long video, so I've been picking times to put that in. So, good evening, 5:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Friday, September 29th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So I appreciate everybody tuning in on this Friday night live. It's a little bit earlier than usual, but it's the time that I could come on. Very busy here tonight, and have the girls here with Julie, and you know, after her surgery, she's not going to be able to stay out much longer on her foot. So trying to do this as I can, but for what everybody's waiting for, the party tonight in New York, it is threatened right now by the flash flooding in New York City. So this should be something interesting to see the development here. Let me go through real quickly to say hi to my friends that are here right now. Crypto Bob, welcome in. A-Time, looking great at 53, then dropped to 52, now on the way up again. Doesn't make any difference to me, just holding. We'll take a look at this, my friend, as we go on here during the live. Chad, I'm not exactly sure when exactly the time of the party is because nobody can give me a straight answer. I do know right now that it is threatened by the flooding in New York. Nick, good evening. Crypto Bob, welcome in. A pleasure's all mine, my friend. John Hogg, how are you doing, my friend? Janthony, welcome in. Great to see you in here this evening. Mr. Extra Sour Cream Taco Supreme, welcome. O. Johnson, Jorge, OMC, Crypto Roger, welcome in. Messi Leo, Tanya, welcome in. Love Digital, Polymath, good evening. Mario Lewis, Willamese, welcome in. Colin, Sean McGurk, it's at 7 p.m., Sean says. Excellent, thank you for that information. Sean Crothers, welcome in, my main man from Maine. Good to see you in here as well. A few mods in the house. John Patek, Gypsy, good evening. Devin, the other mod that's in the house right now. Welcome in, Devin. Jose, good evening. Watch, recycle, repeat. Exactly. Watch the content, recycle it to friends and family. Repeat by watching the next update. Make sure to hit that like button if you're tuning in as well, as we have a lot of commenting going on right now. So there must be more people than I think in here. Mark, good evening. Miss Vicky, welcome in. Love, so awesome to see you in here as well. Infamous, I seen your email. I'll get to that when I have a chance here later tonight. Excellent questions in there. Unless you want me to go over it today during the live, I absolutely can. You just got to let me know if I can talk about what you sent me during the live. And we can actually go through that during the live because it might be easier for you to see what I have to say. But if it's okay by you, we'll cover that at the end of this live if you don't mind. So we have, wow, 84 people in here. No wonder there's so many comments. Cryptic, Crypto, welcome in. Hamza, good evening. The Focus, welcome in. Charlotte, welcome in. Love. 84 people watching, 34 likes. Please make sure to hit that like button, as that is a true lifeline for this community to allow more people to come in and see our content and to allow more people to be inside of here as well. No. I'm not going to share what you actually said. You're not even going to see your message. I'm just saying I can speak to it about the pricing you talked about, Infamous. I'm not going to talk about your personal stuff. I won't even show the name on here. All they know is you're Infamous. I don't show your personal email or anything, not even the wording. I'll just speak of it, that's all. So what we got going on here, and please hit that like button and share this on social media, as that will help push us through the analytics. So without further ado, Ripple's big party threatened by New York City relentless flash flood. And this is by you today. Thank you very much, Infamous. So we'll go over that at the end of this. The Gatman, welcome in. What's going on? I'm doing great. Doing great. As Ripple is throwing a big party, New York City is witnessing a tumultuous Friday with relentless rains lashing the city, causing flash floods and disrupting daily life. And what some have told us, 7 p.m. is when we're expecting at Eastern Standard Time. Governor Kathy, and New York City has a state of emergency, so I don't know how this is going to work. Governor Kathy also has already declared a state of emergency, advising residents to stay off the roads and remain indoors. So that might put this in jeopardy. So as the proper party, as reported by you today, Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple, recently announced the proper victory party for the XRP community that is slated for September 29th in Big Apple. The event is meant to celebrate the July court ruling deeming secondary sales of Ripple-linked XRP cryptocurrencies as non-securities, so unfazed by the floods. The reactions from the XRP community in severe weather conditions in New York City display a mix of humor, determination, and unwavering support for Ripple. The community seems unfazed by the predicament, with many members joking about Ripple's on-demand liquidity solution. Tony Edwards, the host of the Thinking Crypto podcast, was among those who displayed their unwavering enthusiasm. Remember, everybody who's saying XRP's dumping. We talked about 55 cents in the last couple of days on that inverted head and shoulders, likely capping any upside, and we've already tapped 55 cents. Now what we would have been trying to do is hold 524 to try to re-push a double top at either 55 or try to push up to that 5,354 cent pattern formation. But right now, we've already tapped ourselves out. Unless we somehow get on top of 55 and push the rising channel from June of 22 at 62 cents, we're tapped right now. Tony Edwards, the host of Thinking Crypto podcast, was among those, blah, blah, blah. Rain, snow, tornado, yada, yada. Who cares? Proper party can't wait to see. And this is in New York. So, I mean, we can see what it looks like. And then I wanted to show what Ripple shared a little video, too, before we get into the actual charts. So, I mean, are we going to have a proper party here? This is New York right now, ladies and gentlemen. So what do we think? Do we think there's going to be a proper party tonight? Or do we think it might be delayed here? So, wow, welcome in, everybody. 98 people tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button. Only 51 likes, but we're getting there. So that's what's going on in New York. So, and it's under a state of emergency. So do we think that we're going to have the proper party? Or do we think... Oh, wait a minute. What did I just click on? I think I clicked on the wrong thing. Because I want to go to Ripple real quick. Because they just shared a little video. Not a very big one. But it's an important one for the expansion right now. And like what they're getting into. I want Ripple, I can't see. There we go. And then we'll go into the next part. But this was released 23 hours ago by Ripple.
Single API connection. Crypto is here. It's no longer an idea or on the horizon. It's already the reality of how businesses and people trade, move, and manage value. But despite a growing desire by businesses to engage in crypto, integrating digital asset solutions is complex. It often requires cumbersome integrations, has high costs, and involves engaging with fragmented, slow, and costly fiat payout landscape. At Ripple, we built Liquidity Hub to seamlessly bridge the new world of digital assets with the traditional world of fiat. The experience is plug and play, encompassing a single API connection into a breadth of liquidity pools. It offers optimized pricing via smart order routing, and through Ripple's suite of products, best-in-class last-mile fiat payouts into global jurisdictions will be available. Liquidity Hub powers interoperability between crypto and fiat systems, bridging digital assets seamlessly. Partner with Ripple for your crypto liquidity needs today.
Okay, so now that we've gone through what's going on with the Ripple party, It's supposedly at 7 p.m., so we'll see if it plays out. New York City is underwater, so we'll see. I know XRP's come down, but ladies and gentlemen, this has to happen now. After we tap 55 cents, this looks like an inverted hammer. If this is the case, this would be a bullish setup. I understand that it's come down, but right now we circled this before the breakup. And let me just acknowledge a few comments. Miss Vicky, our Tom picked it again. How much money has Tom saved us by not FOMOing in? Thank you, Miss Vicky. I don't know how much, but I think we've all saved each other money. Zenda, welcome in, love. ATK, good evening. The waters do look like a toilet on the streets of New York, Tom. Wow, it looks like water there. So, Sully, welcome in. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Like 107 people here this evening. That's incredible. I just can't thank you all enough, really, from the bottom of my heart. Please hit that like button and we can continue pushing this content out there. And I appreciate all the positivity and the love shown and the helpful hands everybody's given. So, what we've been talking about is this inverted head and shoulders, left arm, head, and I prophesied that this was a right arm creating, and eventually we would push out. And that 524 is a major resistance. I know it doesn't look as clear on that chart, but this will tell us everything we needed to know going into this. And you'll see so we had the bear flag disguised within a bull flag, the small bull flag. That needed to play out to 55 cents at minimum. It has capped that now. So any upside, if it's capped here at this downtrending resistance, it's capped right now. This is what I drew out before the push up. I said we had to tap this, and then we'd have a push up into here. I'm not trying to trick anybody here. We're trying to keep everybody on the same page, so I kept tapping this day after day after day for about the last 17 to 21 days because it had to play out. These are the daily candles. We don't know how long it's going to take. All we can do is try to stay on the same page. And to your guys' credit, the guys and gals in here, you guys are doing a phenomenal job. Phenomenal job. Even on days when there's 60, 70 people in here, we're killing it. As a community, we're really hitting it, hammering this. And I told everybody, if you were going short, what did I say? I said your first opportunity would be to go short at 55 cents. To go short when he got rejected at 524, we thought that there could be a giant liquidity trap forming. So if this inverted head and shoulders actually plays true, and it breaks out of this area at 55 cents, it would actually have a little more upside potential. But right now, it would have had to have broken out of this area. And that's why I said 55 cents would likely cap any upside. And this is the entirety of the formation. And I know it looks crazy, but this is what it is. And right now, we are within. We could have come down. Remember what I said, the 518 in the update earlier. Yes, we're below the 524 pivot, but that doesn't take precedent. Now, I hate to say it like that, but that 524 is not the precedent anymore. We came up here at 55, and then now we look like we could try to be putting in an inverted hammer. If that's the case, and this is a bullish and inverted hammer, and I guess, you know what, I'm not doing my due diligence here. Some of you might not know what the inverted hammer candle is. So let me take at my disposal the opportunity, because I have a nice tablet that I can show, and it runs quickly, so we can do what we need to do during the lives. And that's because of the generosity of each of you. I bought this tablet through the people in Tom's Army and donations that were sent when I first started. I saved it up and I bought a nice tablet, and now it's we've gone a lot of places here. So that's on everybody. I appreciate all of you. So the inverted hammer candle, and it hasn't quite squeezed as low as I would like. It still looks pretty big for an inverted hammer. I would like it to squeeze down a little bit more by 8 o'clock. Like I said, I would like to see it around 518. But right now, I think we're looking pretty good. As far as if we want a little more of a push this weekend, it might not break 55 cents, but we very well could melt up this weekend. So the inverted hammer, if it does play out this way, the high upper shadow, you have the low, and the close and the open. The close is a little bit higher than where it opened. And that would be an inverted hammer candle that's bullish. The bearish inverted hammer candle is on the right, where you have the open start, you have a big wick up, and then it closes lower than the open. That's very bearish. So if this is an inverted hammer, it's still a little wide. So you can all tell me. We have 113 people watching. Let me know, do you think this is forming an inverted hammer? Or do you think it's something different? I don't think we can say it's a gravestone because we don't have enough bottom side pressure coming through. I think this would be more, if we're going to do it, an inverted hammer possibly. And please hit that like button. 78 likes. We're doing a tremendous job. But the more of you hit the like, the more we can push this through. If you would like to send a YouTube super chat to show your thanks instead of hitting the like button, that's always welcome. You can always join Tom's Army, as I'm always looking for more members, as I don't do paid promotions, advertisements, or sponsorships of any kind, because I want you to have a free viewing experience, and I don't charge for my content. So you can do all of that, but really, all you have to do is hit that like button and share this on social media so we can get more people in here. We need a melt up, especially as Gary has had a meltdown this week. I know he truly has. I actually shared that with a lot of people, what he was talking about here recently this week. It was actually fun watching him meltdown, in all honesty. Harvey, good evening, welcome in. I appreciate you. MK Pay, welcome in. Omar, how are you doing? I appreciate you saying it's all good when you tune in here. That's awesome. So, what do you think? I think we're on the same page. So, and then how to use the inverted hammer pattern, just so everybody knows. So the inverted hammer candlestick pattern is one candlestick formation that can signal a potential reversal from a downtrend to an uptrend. In the market, traders and technical analysts often look for the pattern to identify potential buying opportunities in financial markets. So the inverted hammer candlestick pattern appears on a chart when buyers exert pressure to drive up an asset's price, typically at the bottom of a downtrend, indicating a potential bullish reversal. It is characterized by a shape resembling an upside down hammer with a longer a long upper wick, a short lower wick, and a small body. The pattern is formed as bullish traders gain confidence, pushing the price up while bears attempt to resist higher prices. So that's what we're supposed to be looking at here. That's what we're trying to see. Is this actually forming an inverted hammer? I know it's a quite big inverted hammer if it is, but it looks like we're trending in that direction. It seems counterproductive, but if it pulls the 518, it actually makes it look more like the inverted hammer, in my opinion. But right now we're at the 524. So the main thing I want to get out to everybody here in this update is XRP did push out, and it did exhaust our technical targeted move. So, and if you did play the 55 short, you already had a tremendous gain, and you can do with it what you will. If you played that short from 55 cents, even on a 10x, we'll even do it from 54.8. At 525, you're already sitting at a 42% gain here. So you do with it what you will. But the main part of this short, the reason I said that is because this is where it had to go. This is where it had to go. Angela, welcome in. I really appreciate you tuning in. Crypto Bob says he thinks before the end of November we hit $1. Well, if we're going to hit $1, we have to invalidate this dot cross. We have not done that yet. The one thing we have to remember is we never invalidated the weekly golden cross, which is a much higher time frame than the daily. So that is still in play. And for us to invalidate this structure, first, we have to get over and break 55 cents. And then ultimately invalidate this dot cross in the daily and continue on our daily or our standard operating procedure with the weekly golden cross. As you can see, it's just converging, hasn't broken. And now we came back above it here. So are we going to end the week above 53.11 is the question. If that's the case, we're back on top of the weekly golden cross with price action. So what we need to pay attention to in the daily is, are we going to keep moving? Is this an inverted hammer? And if so, can we continue this move up, break and hold 55 cents? And then we'd have to break the rising channel that goes back to June of 2022. And we'd have to break over about 62.5 cents roughly and hold. Then you could say you invalidated this dot cross and you're on standard operating procedure with the golden cross. Because what needs to happen here is we need to start rounding the bottom like we are and finish off this cup and handle and push out. That's what we need to do to invalidate this. Anything short of that, and we get a rejection at 55 and it does push down, this can be very detrimental for the price action of XRP. Please, everybody, let me know what you're thinking. Please. As I've talked a lot here already in this live, I have already had another live earlier. I've done several updates. My voice is still recovering, but we've already done an excellent 20 minutes. And it's excellent because of everybody who's tuning in. I don't remember the last time we had 100 plus people in here. It's been probably 2 weeks. I'm just blessed that so many people believe in what I do. As we were stuck at around 18,503 subscribers, and today we've broken through a little bit. We're up to 18,521. So again, I can't thank you enough for showing me that support. I really can't. And I literally am addicted to doing this with everybody. I'm addicted to coming on here now. And I'm telling you, consistency breeds the response. And everybody who comes in here day after day after day, you're creating that consistency. And now you're craving the up to the minute attention, or the details. You're craving the price action moves. You're craving building this up during the bear market because you understand the difference between bear markets and bull markets. Like, and now the work you're putting in with me, we're actually getting to somewhere special. So as Ripple is throwing its big party, New York City is witnessing a tremendous flood Friday with relentless rain flashing the city, causing flash floods and disrupting life. Governor Kathy Hochul has already declared a state of emergency, advising residents to stay off the roads and remain indoors. So this is the big news. Is it going to be canceled? Are people still going to show up at 7 p.m., which is in about 50 minutes? Oh yes, Flood Friday indeed. And if we look at around the board here a little bit, you've got Algo up 4.2% today. So is it really just XRP? XRP is middle of the road here, 2.7%. We've got a few others like Casper up 2.1%. Gala's up 6.7% here today, ladies and gentlemen. HBAR still, to me, is getting ready for a move, ladies and gentlemen. See this long leg doji? I think this is getting ready for a move, and if you're playing this for a move up, you'd put a stop loss under here at 485, in my opinion. Just don't shoot the messenger. I just see a W reversal in this, and it's lagging behind. What do we think of HBAR, ladies and gentlemen? And I know we have a lot of fans of HBAR. Wow, 96 likes now. You guys are incredible. 96 likes. Make sure to hit the like button if you haven't already done it. Let's try to get to 100 here now. 96 out of 111. That is pretty damn good. We do usually hit 100%, but I don't judge. You guys are doing a phenomenal job. And Gales. So, this is cannabis. I don't smoke cigarettes. FYI, if you're new to the audience, I don't smoke cigarettes. But cannabis is legal in my state, recreationally, and I broke my back a long time ago. And I use it not just for that, because I think I would still smoke cannabis even if I didn't. So, but if you would like to relax with me while we're on, we're not ending. This is not the end of this live. Just understand some people might leave because we're switching from just XRP. So we might cut down to about 85, people that just want to watch XRP or the roundabout. So with HBAR, what do we think? Do we see this long leg doji, everybody? No, not dumping. No. HBAR not dumping. Yes, me too, Zenda. And Julie even said that I've become a much calmer person here, especially recently. So I noticed it's actually transferring into my streams as well, so it's making it much more enjoyable. Ooh.
So after your stream,
There's 108 people in here.
Ooh.
I know. And it said that there was 107 likes already. Wow, almost 100%. That's incredible.
Wow.
Thank you all so
Go,
much.
people, go.
So no, with HBAR, I think we could be turning. We're about to reverse back up, it looks like. So a long leg doji, and I like to use this as a teaching moment. That's why I don't charge. That's why there's no pay for this and get the info, because you can get it every day just by watching me, and I think that's how it's supposed to be done. I think it was meant to be this way. I don't think we were meant to make a bunch of money off of our viewers. Not in a way that you have to pay for the info. Maybe if we're making it together. I don't like that picture. That looked more like a dragonfly. So this is the long leg in the middle. So you see the high price, low prices converge, and the price action stays towards the middle. You overshadow the high and low. And then here's your doji candlesticks right here. So the doji, as you can see, it's basically a long leg, you could say, but it's kind of more looking like a cross. It's so hard to say because it could signify the same thing, a doji candle, long leg. But if we're saying a long leg closed much higher than the low, chances that stock price will increase following this pattern. So if we go back to that, we started in the middle, where are we at right now? 498. It's not significantly, but we're trying to show signs that we're reversing, that this pattern breakdown is starting to reverse back up. I think what's going to happen, much like what we seen with XLM last night. So let's say we're at the 497. This right here is about a 3.5% move. It would have to break out of that to start pushing higher levels. But at the very least, I think we would be pushing up at least 3.5%. But if this plays true, and I won't go all the way to the top or bottom. So that's about 11% candle there. So let me do this. A little over 11%. We'll just take the majority of the candle. We're not going to take the whole thing. Let's say we had a breakout attempt right here. That's what you'd be looking at. Now, let's clone this so we don't get ahead of ourselves. It could also bounce like that. So if it bounces out of here, and this is a reversal, ladies and gentlemen, first move's 3.5%, 3%, but it could be a totality of about a 15% move. So let's pay attention here, because you got the W reversal, and it would be a beautiful retest of about 3/4 up on this bear flag. This is generally what we like to see. Now, if it plays true and goes all the way over here to October 18th and breaks out, you'd be looking more at like a 548. So that's what I'm looking at for HBAR, and it looks to be stuck in this little rising channel on this next tier. So does that make sense to everybody on HBAR? XLM real quick, and then we'll go into DGB and Casper. XLM, and if you appreciate my work, you can always send a donation, a YouTube super chat. Just putting it out there. You can even send or you can join Tom's Army. But just make sure you hit the share button if you really want to support me. Hit that share button and hit the like button. Hey, Crypto Solo Scrooge, I appreciate you tuning in. If anybody who's watching wants to take a look at Crypto Solo Scrooge on YouTube, he's getting closer to 1,000 subscribers here. He's over, I believe, 70% of the way there now. He covers solo. He covers a lot to do with the XRP ledger, Quorium, XRP. So with XLM, we already hit our targeted move from yesterday, but this is definitely an inverted hammer. And if it breaks out, it should come up. It's going to come up about another 10 to 15%. This looks like a nice inverted hammer here. So this looks like we're looking a little more bullish here for the weekend for XLM. We're holding the 200-day beautifully as well. Hey, no problem, Crypto Solo Scrooge. If you'd like to drop your link in the chat, I'd greatly appreciate that. Just so I don't have to go get it. Just so everybody can get it before the stream's over. DGB, another one that looks like it's getting ready. It's had a long leg doji followed by what could be a dragonfly possibly, or just maybe a doji candle. But it looks like it wants to reverse back up here and try to retest that 6-7 area. So we'll see. As long as we can hold this 6-2 area, we'll be fine. So pay attention to that for DGB. And we're winding down here. I know you all know. It's been a fantastic 30 minutes. I can't thank you all enough. I'm just being diligent with my voice as well. And then with Casper, up 1.88%. Casper, I'm very proud to say, as a community, we bought over 10,000 tokens on when we were buying it on FOMO Fridays. Casper now, we'll just have to continue moving this along like we talked about. Now let me ask you all a question. Has anybody been paying attention to the charts recently? How it goes over 10 cents. But Casper, as we upgrade this, just pull this chart out. This is what we're stuck in still. And this looks like a reversal candle as well. This is a downtrend. I think we're going to have a little more bullish weekend here. So Casper, first step is going to be looking for something like a 7 to 8% move here to the top of here, to this downtrending resistance, to see if we can gain some steam. It almost looks pretty good that we're going to be pushing up here. Wait a minute. Tanya, are you still in here? We found something out very awesome yesterday or the day before between me and Tanya. Tanya, are you still in here? XDC crypto or Gypsy Fiat, you did not have to send a $10 donation for me to look at XDC. You're very loyal. But I appreciate you sending the first donation of the night and paying it forward. I will absolutely look at XDC. It's one of my babies. Tanya, did we not discover we share the same birthday? Yesterday or the day before, I believe it was. That's the link for Crypto Solo Scrooge, which is awesome. So make sure you take a look at him. If you haven't, he's got a phenomenal station. Phenomenal station. And yes, me and Tanya discovered our birthday. We both share a birthday, December 17th. I'm just born a year before, which is awesome. Like, you can't make that stuff up. And there's one other person in here. We just haven't seen him a lot anymore. Kenny shares our birthday as well. 600, wow, Crypto Solo Scrooge. 614 subscribers now. What an accomplishment. What an accomplishment. Make sure you guys go give him support. He's a brother from in here that's been watching us from the beginning. He's just done a phenomenal job. That's a phenomenal job. Look how cool it looks now. He keeps upgrading it. Lots of information. Lots of information here. So just go through it and go look for that information. With XDC, it finally looks like we're about to make a push up. Would like to hear my thoughts on Theta. Ooh, Hamza, excellent. I love Theta. Donald, welcome in. Good evening. Hopefully you're having a blessed day today. The one thing I can say about XDC, bearish cross in the daily, and that looks like, you guys can tell me if I'm wrong or not. Does that look like more of a gravestone for XDC? Is this a gravestone? And if that's the case, we might be pushing down here first. It's hard to tell with XDC. Eventually it's going to have to reverse, but I think it might have to come down here to retest this 456 before retesting the top structure. Now, if we gain a little bit of steam, it very well could pull up here first, so let's pay attention to that. We just looked at Casper, Nate. We just looked at Casper. So, I mean, does that make sense for XDC? Hamza? I think it does. We're stuck. We had this pattern breakdown, and we need to start trying to push farther up. But this candle doesn't speak great things. It's just we haven't broken down yet. So if we do break this structure, just expect it to come down to this uptrend. If not, and we can reverse. It usually lags, though, behind XRP, though. So while XRP is playing out, this might still be a little bearish. And then it comes down here, and then when XRP is done, it'll reverse and then retest up here. So the play I'd be looking for, if you're looking for a short play, I'd be looking for a bounce from there to here, about 12.5 to 12.75%. Me personally, if I was looking at it. Theta, 64.7, a beautiful spot. It's so cheap right now in comparison to where it's been. You're welcome, Gypsy Fiat. Thank you to that. Wasn't I right? I said about, what, 85 people and 90 people would be here. I cannot even express to everybody. When I first started doing these roundabout things, when I wouldn't talk about XRP, maybe 30 people would stay. Then 50 people would stay. Now 80 people stay. We did the midday market report earlier. And I'm proud to present, it's had over 630 views already. And it's only been 4.5 hours the last I checked. And the beautiful thing is we stuck with the midday market report, even though in the beginning it was probably getting 400 to 500, maybe 400 views. Now it's getting between 600 to 800 views on every update, it seems to be now. So I'm very blessed that all of you are watching the midday market report. It actually makes me very happy to do. I love doing it. So that's why it means an incredible lot to me that so many people support me in my work. Julie appreciates it too because it makes me less grumpy. Hello, Julie.
Hi.
How are you?
You finished?
Almost. Oh, you mean with this?
Yeah.
I waited for you to come back.
Did you?
I knew you were going to come back. I thought you were helping T.
I gave him a sleep.
How is he?
He's in his bed.
Does he still sound stuffy or is he less stuffy like when he woke
No,
up?
less stuff.
Good.
Probably could have got warm out of him.
Yeah, no. That could very well be it. So with Theta, this eventually is going to break out. It did lower the flag here though, so pay attention. Kind of lowered the bear flag here. but we had some volume coming in the daily. But we have a golden cross, so I'd expect this to at least break back up to that 70 cent area. But Theta definitely needs to come back up to this downtrending resistance to prove bearishness. So 77 cents could be in the future if we can break out of this formation. But be aware we're in a much wider formation, as we can see. That started all the way back in May of 22. And this is how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to get fancy. A lot of people might trick you and tell you technical analysis is hard. As long as you know what you're looking for, it's no harder than anything else you become a professional at. It's just that simple. When you learn how to do things, it makes it that easy. I didn't know this when I first started. But practice and diligence, it gives you an understanding. Tom, the great thing is you're being yourself. No bull, no bells and whistles, just the facts. Plus the chat is amazing, guys. Keep up the great shit. Yes! The positivity is truly shining through right now. And I love seeing it. Here, Julie, I'll cover it. You can walk out. Julie just doesn't want to show herself on camera. It's just a thing she doesn't like to do. Which I respect that. I respect it. And she has such a pretty face and she won't show it. Oh, you're not fat. Shut up. That's her thing. Oh, I'm fat. Hey, you know what? You've had 3 kids now and you've had an ankle replacement. It's not all about if you have a little extra mass. You can't judge. That's not a good way to judge yourself, Julie, by, okay. Well, I don't see you that way, so... I love you too. Tanya, that's because you're awesome. Hello. Tanya said hello, Julie. Thank you, Miss Vicky, as well. I appreciate that. And this is the uptrend. So, isn't it funny how this pattern formed itself? Now, knowing the uptrending support that started before the massive breakout, this is to see the true formation. You could have did a more volatile one, but it broke down. This started in March of 2020. So now Theta's come to the bottom side. So now you are really looking at a retest up there if it breaks up. It very well could be pointing to a retest there to see if we're overly bearish. But being a descending triangle here, or a descending wedge, you could say, this very well could be the start of an inverted head that's forming. And I'll tell you, if that's the case, it won't be good initially. You would have something like this. Maybe a push up here. Nope, too high. Maybe a push up here. Rejection. Come down here to form a head. Back up. And maybe that is what Theta needs to do. Obviously, it would have to be in this range somewhere, but that might still be too far. It could be doing this. And maybe the head does form in here and then it comes through. I don't know. But it seems to be that it needs to retest that area, possibly. Yes, I agree, Miss Vicky, with your assertion of Julie. But yeah, that's Theta. Does that make sense for Theta? 72 are still watching it to the end. I appreciate all of you. I love this community. So welcoming. Thank you all. Thank you, Tanya. Actually, that's the #1 thing I've worked on. I revamped my community. For real, I revamped this entire community, and I made it uncomfortable for the ones who were not positive and for the negative ones, and it took time, but I finally got this the way I appreciate it now, and I am so blessed to have this community this way. I don't even know how to describe it. Thank you very much, Crypto Solo Scrooge. And speaking of Crypto Solo Scrooge, let's take a look at our solo today. You know me, I've learned quality over quantity. So I don't worry about not covering XRP the whole live anymore, because we could have 130 people in here if it's just XRP. But does it make it worse or better with 75 or 80 if we're going through the entire projections and everybody understands what's going on? I dare say that this is more valuable. Where the heck is solo? Apparently, did I delete solo? How did that happen? There's Corium. Interesting. I don't see... I guess I deleted solo on accident. But solo is supposed to be over here with Corium. What happened? Oh, looks like I'm... I'm going to have to take off AGI. Because this list is only supposed to have 5. Now I got to remember what solo I had on here. I wonder if I just did this one and did the overall chart. Yep. Plus totality. I'm from UK, Miss Vicky from, and I'm sure lots. Oh yeah, that's the cool thing about here. We've got somebody. When I've looked through the analytics, and this isn't a joke. As of 6 months ago, we had like 72 different countries in here. And I've received donations from 26 different currencies, to put it in perspective. That means 26 different countries you guys have donated in different currencies. That is crazy to me. Some of them I never even heard of. And tonight I'm getting many donations. It's called the attention. It's called all the likes. We did have a $10 donation as well. So there was also somebody spent their hard-earned money as well. But there's been a lot of donations. Look at all the contributions in chat. You think more people will come in here and be part of the community if we're having a wholesome chat like we have tonight? And like we have been? It's been great. I would dare say the last week of streams, we've gotten right back on the right, how we want to be as a community. We're back on track. Solo, Crypto Solo Scrooge. Crypto Solo Scrooge, what does this look like to you? I'm going to ask you, is this, some would say this is a gravestone, but I would argue this could be an inverted hammer candle. I would like to ask you, Crypto Solo Scrooge, do you think this is an inverted hammer? Or would you lean towards a gravestone? I personally think I'm leaning towards an inverted hammer. Yes, there's a little bit down here, but I think it's holding strong here. This might be an inverted hammer. Now, we're looking for a rejection here at about 945 to confirm resistance. But if we come back in here, we could break to the top side if we break through. So, very, very important. Wow, 84 people in here now. I just am so blessed to have everybody in here. I'm still learning the hammers, Tom. Okay, perfect. So, Crypto Solo Scrooge. See? Another honest guy in here. Remember, as I was learning, I said I need to study more before I can give you an honest answer. Another reason you should watch Crypto Solo Scrooge here on YouTube. We've seen he's well over 600 subscribers now. We know he's from the community, so let's fact check. Is he an honest man? Well, our mate has already proven he is. He didn't try to give us a BS answer right now with something he didn't know. He was honest, and he said, I'm still learning the hammer candles. Another reason to trust somebody like that. You can learn with them and grow. That's what you've done with me and given me the benefit of the doubt over the last 3 years almost. I love Crypto Solo Scrooge. The amount he's taught me with Solo, he's the reason why I own Solo. And the reason why tonight we're going to be buying Solo again for the second time this week. Because I'm working hard to build a 10,000 stack. And because algo's over 10 cents for anybody who's watched me, I don't want to buy it over 10 cents. So I'm going to revert to Solo on this buy this week. Or I might split it 25 and 25 with Quorum and Solo. I just need to look at the charts. So Mr. Solo Scrooge, because I respect you, the inverted hammer candle, just so you can drill it into your head, the inverted hammer candlestick pattern indicates a bullish reversal, a short-term downtrend reversal. An inverted hammer occurs after a prolonged sell-off when prices are near their lows for that period. It's easy to spot on a chart because it resembles an upside-down hanging shooting star candlestick. So, I know some of you know the shooting star and the upside-down shooting star, but now, this is how you learn. Ready? This is how you start growing. This is how I taught myself. I would learn something, see the next, and I'm like, okay, well, how does this relate? So the shooting star indicate a potential price top and reversal. The shooting star, see how it resembles? So that's why I always say, is it an inverted hammer or is it something more? So that's where you can draw the consensus, and we'll look at this. I don't know if it's an inverted shooting star, but we'll definitely look at this. Because remember, we had some pull through here. So the shooting star candle is most effective when it forms after a series of 3 or more consecutive rising candles and higher highs. It may also occur during a period of overall rising price, even if a few recent candles were bearish. So let's see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this wasn't an inverted hammer. Maybe this is more of an inverted shooting star candle. Interesting. Let's see how this looks. I don't know. See, it has that pull through. That always makes me nervous. That always makes me nervous when you get that pull through if you're going to say it's a shooting star. Because we're not supposed to see much wick through a shoot. Let's see. I want to read what was said, but I've got to wait for the comment. That's the inverted hammer. That's the inverted hammer. This one is a tough one. Now, this is what you also have to know. The gravestone, if it pushes down more, it could pull through you and create the gravestone doji, which I'm telling you, that is still possible in this candle. See this? See the gravestone? This is possible. It hasn't pulled, in my opinion, it hasn't pulled far enough down. I think it's disguising what some could misinterpret as a gravestone into a inverted hammer. Man, this is tough. Because technically, with the shooting star or an inverted shooting star, with the inverted shooting star, you'd want to have 3 consecutive candles on the downtrend forming before the reversal. 1, 2, 3. So we've had 1, 2, 3. This is signifying possible trend reversal. It was still a little bearish here on this doji, but it was more of it's tough, but it's more bullish. If it can form a bullish one here, which it did. Now, if this is a inverted shooting star, but I don't know because it has that pull through the bottom. I could still see it being a hammer candle, the inverted hammer. I almost like that better because it describes it better. Now, if it closes above the recent high at 914, the inverted hammer candle would suggest that this is a bullish reversal and we should at least reclaim this area. Exactly. Thank you. Yes. All right. See, Crypto Solo Scrooge, you're being a little humble, but when you said you didn't understand it as much, you're absolutely correct, and that's what I was trying to see if anybody agreed. That wick pulling through makes it more like an inverted hammer. You are 100% correct. Because that shooting star, you really don't want to have, let's go back to the shooting star. You really don't want to have a wick pull through. That's my interpretation. And like I said, I taught myself the technical analysis, so I could be dead wrong on some of this. But the problem is if I am, I'm interpreting it better because it's paying off for us. See that tiny wick through? That is really the maximum you want that to look like. I mean maximum. Most of the time they won't even show a wick coming through. Just the maximum you want is really something like that. The problem is, in the wick coming through this, there's more than just a little shadow here, in my opinion. That's more than a little shadow. That's a wick. That suggests an inverted hammer. And this is bullish confirmation if it is. And it's on the daily, which means the weekend will likely melt back up into this 9.5 range. So maybe, depending on what your plan is here, that's definitely something to pay attention to. So let me just take a look at something real quick. So anybody who's sticking around, we've got 78 people off. Wow, 140 likes. Look at the ones who are coming in, seeing what they need and leaving. They're still hitting the like button before they leave. That is incredibly generous. That is doing more than getting more people into here. And that just shows an extra layer of care and compassion. Tanya Love, welcome in. You do need to look back, but I am going to do a debt of gratitude because you love HBAR, and we actually talked about HBAR. I'm going to show you what we were thinking. And then I got to talk about one thing. I've got to ask, Infamous, are you still here? Because that's going to be the next thing real quick so I can cover what you sent me. Infamous, my friend, are you still in here? And yes, if I sound like I'm in an overly good mood, and I have been for a little bit, it's because I am, because of all of you. It deleted my HBAR. Can you believe it? Some have even commented that I don't swear as much anymore. And that's something that's happened consciously over time, but not because I don't want to, just because I think consciously I just wanted to change a little bit with my demeanor. So I want to redraw this out for HBAR. So Tanya, you're in here. I'm going to use the HBAR one. I want to draw this back out for you. So if we're coming from here and doing the wider pattern, we can come from here because that is a true definition here. We had the support, did what we had to do, had another support, and then we can use this. So we're going to use this uptrend to our advantage. So if we use this to the, you're my new cha-cha channel. Hey, Square and Level, I greatly appreciate it. If you look at our historical evidence here, you'll be very grateful for your decision. I don't know how much you know about the station, but in 2021, we bought in for an average when I first started, and we were raw. This is the beginning. We literally had, I bought in at 47.5 cents was my average, up and down, and we sold out at $1.66. And that was after we hit the top. We came down and then we rejected 3 straight times at $1.70. I told everybody, I'm sorry, but we gotta get out. I said, we'll get another opportunity. This looks like trash. Can't do it. But I don't know. You can do it like this because eventually it's gonna meet. So we don't know if it's just a straight resistance that could be playing out. So yeah, I'll keep a wick one up here. And then we bought back in here. It took us almost a year and a half to be able to buy back into XRP. And then we've been using a nice strategy, but we bought back in here in 2022, late 22, early 23 at a 34.5 cent average. And now it's the accumulation phase, but right now we bought what we needed, and now we're building into some of our others. And we've been able to build a full bag of HBAR here. We do a thing, FOMO Fridays, which you'll be introduced here to in a minute. So this is what we're looking at. This is a beautiful rendition of HBAR. If you look at it in the totality on BitGet, which is why I like this chart, it only goes back to 23 in March, so we can use the totality of this pattern here. We don't need to see anything else. So this is the current setup. So if this is a bottom forming, HBAR looks like it's getting ready to make some kind of move here. That's my own personal interpretation. And some people need to understand I am not a financial advisor, nor do I claim to be one, nor do I want to be one. I think they're just cheap and lazy. They just go with the standard flow and they've got a sheet to read from. I'm not going to do that. It's not in my personality to steal money from people. So I tend to do it like this. So if you follow me, we're learning a lot here each and every day. I'm trying to figure out which one I use. Does anybody remember which HBAR one I used? The audience often remembers when I don't. Let's see. It might have been the spot one. I very well might have used the spot HBAR from the network. If not, I might go back to this one. But, oh yeah, I knew it. I was going to say it has to be the spot one. So, this is with everything else. See how the formations are? This is everything built for us. This is everything built for us. We can see the long leg doji. So, I think we're probably going to start moving up here, Tanya. We're probably going to have this little melt up here and see how we react at 512 in time. And then if you can break that, we should start working up in a nice fashion. Only trust Tom on YouTube. Hey, that's very, very nice of you. You know, I make some recommendations. You know who else I would trust on YouTube? Peter Schiff. But again, when you watch all these people, you have to see those paid promotions and advertisements and sponsorships, which if I'm Peter Schiff, I would do the same thing. Because he could get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars, literally 5 figures every time he speaks, but he puts it out here for free for us. So am I mad that somebody like him does paid sponsorships? Hell no. You need somebody that's going to pay to have this show, you know, that believes in the show. Just like I believe in Mike Maloney. And I believe in Robert Kiyosaki, who's turned a little more to the FUD side, unfortunately. So I don't recommend as much some of the FUD stuff, but his gold and silver is on point. I love Jordan Peterson. I can recommend these people. I really like Gregory Mannarino for your own central bank and such. You know, I do like these people a lot. So I recommend, like I said, Crypto Solo Screws, a smaller YouTuber, Corium Concepts, and other smaller ones, but they're in here. They've been in here. I've got to know their character. And I promote from within. As shallow as that sounds, imagine if you're starting a station and you're part of this channel and I can promote you every day to my channel of 18,000. Speaking of which, if you're in here, I got a buddy of mine, Drew, and he's been doing, and I talked about it before, and you guys told me to share it, and I wouldn't do it in the last one, so I think I'll share it in this one. It's just an up-and-coming podcast if you're into cannabis, and I know we have a lot of people in the UK or that actually appreciate cannabis and how to get to know stuff within the strands. So if you guys would be generous, and when you subscribe to his channel in this case, because he is my friend, somebody I know in personal life, he's somebody I taught in basketball. I coached his basketball team, and I ran into him for the first time in years at the dispensary a couple weeks ago. And they've only got 24 subscribers right now, but they're just starting on this channel. But it's something completely different from what I do. And I know most people will leave, but that's okay. Let's see if it'll even pull it up, because they're new, so it's so hard to pull their station up. So let me see what I got to do on mine to you gotta love it when it doesn't show all of the stuff here. I'll just share it in here. I'll share it in here on my phone. So does that make sense for HBAR? Honestly, does that make sense to everybody for HBAR? I know we've covered a lot today. I know a lot of people have left, but you know, it is what it is. So I'd be eternally grateful for everybody in here if you join Drew's channel and hit that subscribe button. He's doing a hell of a job putting out a lot of information. You've heard me in stories in the past. Drew was my point guard in basketball, and we had our first season. I took over for the coach. I didn't think he was running the team. I was just watching in the stands. And I said, I'm going to take over this team at halftime. And first season I took over, I accidentally signed us into the varsity league, and we played against school teams. It was only supposed to be, and please put in there, when you do it, say, Tom sent you. Say Tom sent you. XRP Future Millionaire. He'll know who you are. Or hashtag Tom's Army. He knows who I am. So please hit that subscribe button for him. He's really awesome. So we went to the championship though, our second season. It was incredible. But he credits me for giving him the positivity to succeed in life. From what I taught him on the basketball court, that he actually mattered. That was my message. And he can totally speak of who I used to be and am still. To show you that this isn't a facade. You know, you never know who you're going to touch. It's just that simple, who you're going to change. And he credits me with changing his whole demeanor, which I never knew that. All these, I haven't seen him in probably a decade. I never knew that he credited me with all that stuff and that he talks about me like that. So it was touching. So, I want to read this real quickly. And like I said, do him a solace. Do him a solace here. So, I want to go into this email. So, Infamous, you ready? You got to let me know. Can I read? I'm pretty sure it's nothing personal, so I can read it. Tom, serious question. When you touring the UK, then OZ for Miss Vicky. I don't know, only because of my son and Julie's condition. If I wasn't dealing with their accidents, I would have already done it. I am drunk, so it makes sense, Tom. Hey, that's okay. I would love to visit, honestly. I would love to visit. In time, I plan on it. So, Infamous, he sent me a message, and I'm not gonna read hold on, let me see. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but the gist of it is he sent me a nice message, but he said he's watching gold and silver, and he's looking for a buying opportunity, and then he wants my personal opinion what a decent buy-in price would be for not just gold, but also silver. And then he wants to know why, with the DXY going up, why is gold and silver going down, which is an excellent question. So the price I'd be looking at with gold and silver, for gold, we would have to look at, and I'll show you, I'm looking for, now that it's breaking down, I'm looking for a target for you. 1,792 an ounce would be a beautiful targeted buy to maybe make your first purchase. Keep in mind that it can come down a lot lower, but that would be a good starting buy around that 1,790 area, in my opinion. You could do it now, but my more bigger suggestion would be take a look at the gold-silver ratio. I don't think there's any point of buying gold if you're just starting out. If you can start buying silver, and then you can buy 83 ounces of silver instead of an ounce of gold, and then when it gets down to 40 to 1, you go into your local dealer and you trade them 40 of those ounces of silver, keep 43 of them, and they'll give you an ounce of gold. That's just a secret that a lot of the silver stackers have taught me, that I learned many, many years ago from not just Mike Maloney. Peter Schiff has talked about it in decades past, but mostly Mike Maloney teaches you this secret of how you take your silver, you stack it when it's these high ratios, and then you turn it in for gold. So silver, even though it's got this bear flag, that ratio is desirable. Now, where would I want to buy it? You can always buy it at 83 to 1, and I will not get mad about it. If we do break down this targeted move, and I'm shortening this, like I said last time, because I don't want anybody to get confused. I think $18. Yeah, it's a little bit farther down. We marked it at $16.29, but we want it at the $18 mark. So where's the better buy? If you're looking at the targeted breakdown, 18 bucks would be the superb area, infamous. But I'm not killing you for buying it in this area at all. You can buy it on the way down and have a monthly purchase for silver right now. Gold, on the other hand, I think you have to look at it a little bit differently here. Tom, yes, I can totally understand family comes first, buddy. However, if all assets go to the moon, if we get to a scenario like that, the sky's the limit. Because then if we go to that scenario, I could pay for my mom's stuff and she wouldn't have to work anymore, which is my end game. And then she'd just be staying with my son, so I'd have more freedom. You know, that's the difference. I want to make sure my mom's taken care of. So that's why this is important to me. Or you just have to come to Michigan on the Great Lakes. So I'm fine. I'm self-sufficient. I don't need any more money to live. My house will be paid off before this year's over. Just a hint to anybody who's paying attention. So, and some will be like, you just took your loan out last year. Correct. But let's just say investments of the past leading into the future have been doing very well from 2017 on. I put myself in a position, like I've said, I may not be a millionaire, but you're just watching me do it. That's all. The only difference between me coming on when I'm a millionaire and bragging and me doing it from where I have, I'm allowing you to join in on the journey. It started in 2021 in March. So, and if you continue the journey, it's going to be an amazing thing. So, but I'm not bragging. I'm just saying there's a way around the system, but it takes due diligence. I'm doing this every single day for a reason. So I want to get into solo real quick, but does that make sense, infamous? And then with the DXY, last question. The reason why gold and silver, yeah, DXY was coming down, but it's still overinflated at 106. They're not understanding the demand. And with the expansion of the money supply, it's devaluing the US dollar. So around the world right now, gold is hitting record highs in native countries outside of our currency. Different native currencies, Japan especially, China, some of the BRICS nations, it's at all-time highs in many parts of the world. Just the USA, you're getting an extraordinary opportunity here to change your wealth. The best times to put into gold and silver is when the US dollar currency is overinflated like it is. Wait till this comes down and see how great of a value this actually was for the gold and silver in this end of 2023. This may be the last time you get these kind of numbers. Once gold hangs on to $2,000, it's never going to come back down. Just like when silver gets a handle on 30, it'll never come back down. So the short answer is we've expanded the money supply so much it's devalued the US dollar, which makes gold less valuable in sense of dollar. Now when the US dollar, even with the money supply expanded, when the US dollar currency comes down enough, especially when it breaks the 100 handle, gold's going to rise exponentially, especially when it gets towards 90 as well. That's when you're going to see the big rise. Until they contract the money supply, gold and silver and precious metals just won't be. They will be expanding the money supply to 2025, but the US dollar currency index will end up tanking along the way to 2025, and people will wake up to the value of having their money stored in gold and silver and precious metals over the US dollar. And when the BRICS nations dump the government bonds as they are and dump out of US dollar for their gold and silver, especially gold, which they can't do, dump out of government bonds, or start building their cash with US dollars into the gold reserves, they can't do it as part of the BRICS agreement until January 1st, technically. So pay attention to that. So Infamous, anytime you have a question, send me an email, and instead of me trying to type it out, I think I'll approach it this way. I love this. I love this so much. I can't believe we made it to an hour and 5 minutes. 160 likes. Oh my goodness. Wow. That's just... No. No, we don't see 36 cents during the party. Maybe after, but not during. During, you'd be more likely to see 55 to 62. The probability is a 90% chance we get capped at 55 like we've already hit, but it melt back up. 25 or 75% chance, 25% chance we run to 62. And at the top of the rising channel, resistance from the 2022 uptrend starting in June on XRP. Look at the 2-year chart for what? I'm sorry. Look at the 2-year chart for what, Square? The spread on XRP will make you far... The spread on what? As far as for what? I don't understand. Are you talking about for gold, silver? No. They work in unity. My profits go into gold and silver. My gold and silver that I have over the years is what allowed me to be my own central bank. It's what allowed me to... Well, it's what's going to allow me to pay off my house because I use that as a savings. So all of my money in crypto, all of my money in the fiat, that's only used to pay my stuff off. The stuff that I want my value to stay year over year, that dollar, instead of being in the bank, is in gold and silver. My speculative funds that I want to work with, gold and silver, is in commodities. My non-speculative funds that I want to work with gold as a store of value, but not just for the extreme run-ups, is in crypto. It's particularly the ISO tokens and the IoT, the Internet of Things, with the exception of a few that take on the next frontier like ZIL. So I agree and disagree with you. So for Solo, I would like to do a purchase here. Our average price right now, what we're going to buy, and I think what I want to do today, we have 2,141 Solo. So I would like, who's joining me today on the Solo buy? It's twice this week because we're due diligent to try to build it up. Who's joining me here on FOMO Fridays? I would love to know. And Crypto Solo Scrooge, I hope we've made you proud in this community. Actually understanding now, because of you, that there is, what, a 400 million total circulating supply, and there's already 399.9 million in supply. So because of you, as a community, we have taken serious the importance of that in the low circulating supply. So 50 tokens this week gets us, or $50, we'll do 51 for the $1 fee. It gets us 534.36 tokens. We're buying it right now. Tom, I do apologize. I've been talking to the chat for the last 60 minutes. Most of what you have been saying, can you just repeat? Well, as much as I would love to, it looks like you're going to have to rewatch this, which will be beautiful for the analytics. So just think of it as you helping me. So let's go to our Solo, ladies and gentlemen, so I can show you the confirmation. So Solo, we now have 2,679 Solo. And our average price is 9,479. Today it was at 9,166 approximately. And we have 2,679 Solo. And there's the confirmation. And just to stay in lockstep with what I wanted to do as I promised. What's the other one I promised we'd talk about today? Does anybody know? I snuck solo in there, but what did I say I would talk about before I left today? Does anybody remember which one it is? And I'll see if everybody remembers. It's got a 500 million circulating supply. It's also on the XRP ledger. We also have somebody in who I talked about today who is doing this. Absolutely great spot to buy it. Nope, not Algo today. Algo's over 10 cents, so I'm holding off on it. It is actually Corium. Corium. As a community right now, and Crypto Solo Scrooge, I know you understand the importance of it as well. We have just over 1,000 Corium. Nope, we've already bought our Casper, Miss Vicky. We've already bought over 10,000 Casper, so we're good with that. Good guess, though. We own already of Casper as a community from FOMO Fridays. 10,020 Casper. So Corium, we have 1,010. And this week, we have an average of 8,315. The average price is 8 cents. Just under 8 cents. But I think it's going to give us just over on this site. So we're going to USD. We're going to buy our $51 in Corium. We get 581 tokens today. So we're going to preview trade. We're going to make the purchase. It's subject to a higher spread because of higher volatility, which we already know. So let's see what it gave it to us for. So our average price is 8,472. We've got 1,593 Corium now. So that's what I wanted to do here to end this live. So thank you everybody who's joining me with the Corium and Casper. I think it's very important as Corium's had a max price of about 94 cents. Solo's had a max price over $9. And it's attainable because of their low circulating supply. And it's in our best interest to build these up to 10,000 tokens. Even though this week we had to circumvent today Algo, we did buy some Algo on Wednesday and we're up to about 6,800 tokens roughly. So we're doing a fantastic job. And on the breakout, the reason I wanted to do Corium, because it could give everybody a positive momentum here who just bought, you very well could be starting an inverted head and shoulder on the breakout point. So if that's the case, you could bounce in here in the days and weeks to come. So just pay attention to that. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. If you got anything out of this live, it's been an hour and 12 minutes. Please make sure to hit that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel, and I will catch you on a few other